So this is going to be a video where I invalidate Mythical and his points, hopefully in a short period of time, because I really don't have time for this. Hopefully this should not take long, but grab a bag of popcorn and let's get down to business. I'm going to breeze through his responses. First, before we take a look at the actual video, I would suggest to go watch his video before mine, but you can really do what you want. He first talks about my speech was worded badly, and if you don't know what we're talking about the child abuse thing where he called me out for, basically being a future child abuser, or basically called me out for condoning child abuse. So he first talks about how my speech on that was worded badly, which I agree. It was worded badly when you single out the part that's controversial and not get the full context of the situation. Now, I can quote what I said before that little controversial bit, which I can show you right now. Because that's the only way to actually correct a kid is to actually be hit, is to actually hit the kid. But he only shows the controversial bit and not actually the full context and my question that I asked before that little controversial bit. So I guess I can just show you guys this little bit too. So just give me a second here. Kid. Okay, so basically what happens if the kid continues to repeatedly or deliberately do those quote accidents? What happens then? What do you do? I even said so in the description and comment section that this should imply that in the context that this is a clear last resort option. I even said so. I told you this when you guys, called me out, but instead of you actually first understanding me, you decided to actually, cause a drama and then try to expose me for it. So I told you about it, and the first thing you did was say, oh, this is lies, and agree with Cythics on this. I even have the video here. This is my response video to Cythics and Pendrex's and your response, Mythical. So yeah, here's the video right here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, yes, I did say this, everyone. Then after listening to the video, I realized that what I said needed a disclaimer, so I put one on there. And this was during the time where I first posted the video, now, which was 6-7 months back. Now, Cythics reacted actually correctly in my opinion. Yeah, he did react correctly, I know. That's shocking. He could have solved the situation differently instead of making it public, but looking back at it, he was okay with his reaction. So with my quick thinking, not only did I respond, and very well, although my reaction was not pretty good, but I responded very well. Not only did I respond, but I also sent the same video I posted on YouTube and showed how I put a disclaimer down there when it was first posted, fixing my statement that I had said about the abuse thing. Once I showed that proof, that should have been the end of the situation. However, instead of doing that, he decides to make a whole video dragging the drama on to the point where he is trying to make me look like a fool. We had to talk about this on Discord, and when I bring up the disclaimer, he brings up how, oh, no one reads the description anymore. Yeah, I know, a worthless excuse so he can keep getting people to hate on me. So in Mythical's video on me, he claimed that he never said I was going to be a future child abuser, then says he might have said it months back, which literally contradicts his own statement, but I actually thank you for defending me, which was nice on his part. But our drama ended when a new one arose, which was Pendrex. And even when you defended me in those certain situations, you never actually mentioned how my wording was based on a last resort option, which was clarified even in my own video, but numerous times in the comments and said description, which is why people like Vote used it as an example to expose me at the time, and he did freaking horrible, but he used it to expose me, and it's honestly sad, but really I shouldn't be mad on how you defended me, but more so be grateful how you tried to defend me. But I told you the context numerous times, and the situation should have stopped when it first happened. And I don't care about your opinion since it's subjective. Like, I really don't care about your opinion. Like I said, the issue on this topic of, how should you punish your child, is debatable because every kid is different, and there are different ways to punish your child. Alright, with that being said, let's actually start watching his crappy video. Let's go. Now, if you watch my video on Vote, in the last few minutes of my first video on Vote, I go in depth on how Mythical has been trying to call me out just because I said I didn't care about his opinion. And basically he thinks because I said this, it means I have a quote big ego, which is funny. His proclivity and over-reliance over the word egotistical frustrates me because in order to have an ego, you must think of yourself very highly, unnaturally. So basically, he's saying that I think I'm better than everyone else because I said to his opinion that I don't care about his opinion.
Alright, so there's so many things wrong here. I never even said an opinion whatsoever. All I did was state some facts, and I can explain why they are facts to you, Warren, because clearly you don't understand. The first thing I called you out on is being lazy, because at the time you're overhyping your YouTube return, and all you did at the time was re-upload 2 old videos. And the second thing I called him out on was being dishonest with one of his videos, because he shows a screenshot of him responding to my video, and he did privately say a while ago that he was in the wrong when me and him had some drama. But I don't have a recording of this because I'm not a paranoid little bitch who records everything I do. But hey, I guess you have to take my word for it then. But you know, once again, I'm stating a fact here, not an opinion. It's kind of funny as well because Warren cannot take opinions either, or facts, or anything, because he likes to delete hate comments all the time. Warren even admitted to deleting hate comments for some reason, but I guess his ego is so high that if anyone goes against him, then Warren's gonna throw a fucking hissy fit about it and delete your comment. I just love how Warren says that he doesn't have an ego, because a while ago he did say that he has an ego. So which one is it, Warren? Do you have an ego or not? And to make this whole situation even funnier, Warren actually DM'd me to actually call him out whenever he does stupid shit. So as a friend, as someone who tried to help Warren improve, I've been doing that, but apparently I'm now the bad guy because I've been calling him out whenever he does stupid shit. Warren, if you don't like to be called out, then why would you ask for me to do something like that in the first place and then try and paint me as some sort of bad guy for it? And with the whole ego thing, who gives a fuck? If you have a big ego, then you have a big ego. But if you're gonna lie and say you don't have a big ego when you obviously do, then you're just gonna look like an idiot, Warren.
Alright, so I let the whole segment play out as to not waste time on cutting in on every single little stupid thing that he says. So I'll be quick on this segment. You know what's funny though? I never said I never had a big ego myself. I was just calling you out on the hypocrisy of it, which you have yet to negate. And also I called you out on how I never thought I was better than anyone else, just because I deleted your comments, which you were trying to push the point that I was, when that also wasn't true. Then you pushed the point that I deleted hate comments. I blocked Grimm's channel, which caused the comment to be deleted because he kept asking a question about if I wanted to debate him, and he kept asking this, which I said no, and he asked this all the way to the point where I just blocked him at this point. I explained why I deleted Wailing and Beast's comments because they were possibly like-botted. More on that later though. And I said this in the GC, by the way, so you have no excuse as to why you even said this point. And Mythical, I already explained why I deleted your comment, and that was because I didn't want drama in my comment section, which was already said in previous videos. But apparently, I can't take opinions or criticism because I deleted 4 people's comments when I take other people's criticism daily. The mindset is retarded. And I re-uploaded 2 videos because one of them was meant for my actual return, and the other had to be restored and remastered because I uploaded the wrong copy of my video, which deleted my editing. But saying that was all I did was a stupid move because I posted for that entire week, so that is also a lie. But to that second video's point, which is my longevity video that he's talking about me remastering, Mythical on Twitter had said the problems on that video were never fixed, which I'll show you guys what the problems were in a second, but Mythical actually acknowledges that there were problems in my previous last video on my original longevity video. So my fan asked, does he have proof about the old video so he can compare these quote problems to my new video? Because Mythical said, you know, there are problems on my new video too. The same problems weren't fixed. He basically freaking claims this without any freaking proof to back it up. So my fan asks this question and Mythical replies, yo, did you not watch the video? And then my fan has to reiterate and restart the question, like, did you watch? What proof do you have? And Mythical says, watch the video and you'll see. Now the old video I had made private, and thank God I did that instead of deleting it, but you can see how he's clearly lying about how nothing has apparently changed in my new video and separation from my old video. Like, he's blatantly lying about this. He doesn't have any proof to back himself up. You guys can clearly see that there is a reason why I re-uploaded those 2 videos, especially with the second one. There was an actual reason as to why the videos were re-uploaded. It doesn't come off as lazy because a multitude of creators do it too. They re-upload their videos, which is why when you said your opinion, because it was framed as such, when you said it, or asked a question, and then you stated your opinion, I said I didn't care because who the heck does? But yeah, he lied and he didn't have any proof either. And on the subject of, well, you've known me for not being able to take criticism, that's crazy because I've seen some comments of yours, buddy, and if I can't take criticism, then you definitely can't take criticism, which would be hypocritical on your part because I've seen text and comments and even Twitter replies on you not being able to take criticism, my guy. And it just makes you look stupid. If to put it bluntly, it makes you look stupid. And who cares if I added a screenshot of old videos of mine to a video talking about my literal past as a YouTuber? Nobody cares about that, my guy. And if we were friends at a time when I told you that, you won the drama and everything, you should have stuck to my word on that. And obviously, now that I've looked back again at it, you didn't win, because I've noticed the points and everything, and I was stupid for saying that. But at the time, you should have just taken the W, and just moved on with it. But you get mad over me adding screenshots of my response videos to you, response videos that people can watch at any point, and which are still public. You get mad even though I told you in private that I had, quote, lost the drama, and I was okay with that. But no, you had to ruin it and get mad over that despite me having moved on at the time. That's just freaking sad. And one more thing, just because I asked you to give me criticism doesn't mean I can't have my own criticism or respond back. I said I don't care, and you threw a massive fit over it, which led me to delete your comment because I did not want that in my comment section. And also, saying that I don't care is my own opinion, so. But in conclusion, you only further prove my point in how you force your opinion into effect to boost your own ego, so congratulations. I don't care about your opinion. It was one opinion, but you chose to throw a fit about it. Which is sad, but okay.
1 is not an opinion, and 2, that's not my main problem with the situation. My main problem with it is that you had to ban me from commenting on your channel because I left 2 comments criticizing you for being an idiot, which you told me to do, by the way. And the thing what really annoys me is that Warren claimed that I spammed his comment section with like 8 comments when that's not true whatsoever. I left 2 comments there, maybe a reply or 2 when he replied to my comment, but that's it. I didn't leave 8, so where the fuck did 8 come from? Warren, stop making up lies so you can justify the fact that you banned me from your channel because you're clearly pro-censorship.
And the funny thing is, you can't prove that you left or didn't leave 8 either. My statement of you leaving 8 comments was an educated guess because you definitely left over 5 comments on my comment section. And honestly, despite how many comments you or me left, it was filling up my comment section regardless, so I deleted it. But you claim I was making excuses without any actual proof because you like to assume things, which is crazy. Plain victim, you're nothing more than a Pinterest clone. The guy you painted to be the villain, but then became yourself. You're nothing more than him. Because you claim that I never helped you as a friend.
I just said that you were a shitty friend. I never said you never helped me whatsoever, so where the fuck is this coming from? Once again, you're making shit up. It's kind of funny that you're trying to say that I'm playing victim when you're the one who's crying on video and lying about everything. Like, bro, you're making this video because I trolled you and criticized you. Like, you're acting like a massive baby right now.
The funny thing is, he implies I never helped him when he claimed I was never a good friend, which does cancel out everything that I've done for him, which also means I never helped him out as a friend. Which also means, in context, you literally just claimed, without saying it, I never helped you as a friend, or I was never a good helper to you as a friend. That statement alone already debunks your argument, but you then proceed to claim I treated you like a piece of crap, which also implies that I never helped you as a friend. And no, I made that video because you were saying things that were wrong and lying about the situation, in public by the way, and lying about the situation at hand. Slandering my name in the process was the reason I made my video. It had nothing to do with criticism or making a cult. All it did was play a factor into me helping me make a video, but it wasn't the reason why I made it. But back to the friend thing though, this man actually gives the reasoning as to why I'm quote a crappy friend, and this man's reasonings is because I used my data to spy on a person who was, by the way, he knows this by the way, I used my data to spy on a person who was manipulating my staff team at the time, instead of making my part for his video. I even apologize for me taking so long because something was more important than his video talking about pin drakes. because it was a test to see how my staff team would react in said situation. But, if you're gonna call me a crappy friend, come up with an actual reason. You're 19 years old, upset because you were impatient because I was doing something else and not working on a part with you for your video. Learn some self-control and stop lashing out over stupid things. He commented on one of my videos about the whole situation with his opinion mattering, and I responded, and it was getting to the point where we were arguing in the comments, in my comment section. And it got to the point where my comment section was filling up with his drama, so I shut it down by deleting his comment section and going on Twitter. He then claims that I censored him when I told him numerous times that I deleted his comment, or both his comments, for the sole purpose of not filling up my comment section with his drama.
Bro, this is literally censorship at its finest. You deleted my comments and then made the excuse up that I would fill in your comment section when I wasn't. Like, why is this even a debate? Everyone with a normal brain will realize that you censored me. It's not that hard to admit. I mean, it doesn't surprise me knowing that you delete hate comments on your videos.
Mythical, anyone with a normal brain and can do math knows that 8 plus 4 equals 12, meaning you and I were filling up my comment section, which is why I deleted the comments myself. 2 other people commented besides you at the time, so not only did you assume, but you're basically proving me correct that this wasn't, quote, just an excuse. What a retard. Then a couple of days later, one of my friends was having an argument with him, and he blocks the person mid-argument because he didn't want the situation to go on. Not one person, but 2 people mid-argument blocked. And I just find it hypocritical how if I delete a comment because I don't want drama in my comment section, then I'm the one with the big ego and I'm the one who is censoring people and can't take criticism, or I'm the one making excuses about it. But if Mythical does it, it's not the same.
Yes, Warren, it isn't the same, and let me just explain it to you right now because your small brain does not understand anything clearly. Deleting comments on YouTube and blocking someone on Twitter is completely different because when you delete a comment on YouTube, nobody can no longer see the comment. And blocking someone on Twitter does not delete their tweets. Their tweets are up in public for everyone to see. And the main reason why I blocked them was because why would I debate people who are clearly biased? Like, the majority of their tweets is about Warren. So why would I waste my time debating with people who are clearly going to be siding with Warren no matter what? I would rather do something productive with my life than spend hours arguing with these idiots.
Buddy. I'm just using your definition of censorship. You claimed on Volt's video that I censored you on most platforms, and in which case, you can define most as obviously more than one, which means that basically I, quote, blocked you on Twitter. Twitter counts as more than one. That means that I actually censored you twice, according to your definition. But by that same definition, that means you censored both me, Love the Fuzz, and the person who I can't think of his name right now, and countless of others about numerous numbers of times. So basically, every time you block someone for an argument, you basically censored them, which, and in which regards, Mythical, that makes you hypocritical because when you then go to make tweets on them and they can't respond, what do you get? Censored, which is exactly what you did. You made tweets on the people and they couldn't respond. So by the very definition, you freaking censored them. Congrats, you're hypocritical. This man thinks he's going on a goody two-shoes rant, talking about how all I do is blame others for my problems and not myself. This is comical in its own regard, and the fact that he assumes this is funny. But all of my problems with this community comes from them. The fact that I literally asked random people to look into this drama, for me, unbiasedly by the way, and asked them if I'm right or wrong in certain situations, actually also helps my point that the situation doesn't lie with me, but with this specific community at hand. Then he lets Wailing go on the video, and honestly, because his part was so horrible, I won't be reacting to the actual video at hand because it literally takes him over 7 minutes to explain 3 points, which is kind of sad, but I'm still going to go over it, but we're just not going to be watching the video. So, yeah, let's get down to it. Actually, guys, I just realized that we actually have to watch it, so apologies, but yeah, we have to watch it, so let's get into watching it. Let's go.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wailing Gecko here, and I would like to thank Mythical for having me on today. So first, I would like to talk about the situation about one of Warren's Discord moderators named Gigafy. Now, the context of the situation is that Mythical made a joke about Gigafy being a rapist because of screenshots. So I took the joke seriously, and I sent him the screenshots that were sent by an ex-Discord moderator of Warren's server, and it was shit Gigafy said about basically sex. And that wasn't related to her saying she was going to rape somebody. And I was even told by another ex-Discord moderator of his that this person has said she was 31, and I myself have even seen her say it, but I don't have screenshots because, you know, I'm not in the server. Now, the reason why I took it seriously was because I saw these screenshots wrong, and I realized I fucked up, and I even took accountability for it, and even apologized to Warren for making those mistakes. Warren instead decided to double down and acted like we were trying to make it a point against him, and said me and Mythical were making excuses. If Mythical was being serious, he would have actually posted this shit to Twitter about these quote-unquote accusations, which he didn't. As for me, I didn't post it to Twitter because I was showing Warren the evidence.
Alright, so I'm just gonna stop it right here because this video was just, this part was just freaking bad. But if you watch Wailing's part, then you'll understand that he tried to defend Mythical for falsely accusing someone of threatening rape, which happens to be one of my mods. And then he tried to excuse it for just being a, regular joke. It's lucky that I have witnesses to this, and it's also lucky that I can disprove Wailing and Mythical both. Let's get it. It's time to get serious. At 1:42 a.m. on Monday, September 27th, Mythical had first claimed that Gigafy threatened another person with rape. This is one example shown here. At 6:42 p.m. on Monday, September 27th, they were talking about how Gigafy threatened to rape someone. This is 7 p.m. Gecko time, so he's on the eastern side. Saying Gecko's time is very important too. Not to mention that Wailing also came to the rational conclusion and literally agreed with Mythical that not only Gigafy did this, but also added that she's an adult, which is also not true. Now, before I continue this, however, I want to highlight how they were talking about this previously on how Gigafy was possibly an adult when she's 13 or 14. I also want to highlight how Mythical claimed that she threatened to rape minors, and he had already came to that conclusion thanks to the context, but he came to this conclusion not once but twice, and was already going along with it, and so was Wailing too. Now we fast forward to me arguing with Wailing Gecko, and Wailing actually describes the situation perfectly because, alright, before I actually get into all that though, this was before me and Wailing had this conversation, so they had already came to this conclusion that Gigafy was raping or threatening to rape minors and everything. So they had already came to this conclusion that this basically happened. So this basically rules out that Mythical was joking. But we fast forward to me arguing with Wailing. And Wailing actually describes the situation perfectly. Because I called Wailing out for saying something about an inappropriate mod joke. And just to see what his reaction was to this. And then Mythical says Gigafy was threatening to rape minors. And quite seriously too. Wailing even agreed. Now we can verify that Mythical and Wailing apparently have proof of this as well. Wailing even backs this up by saying he can show screenshots here. Take note of what Wailing said too. He also claimed that he sent the screenshots, meaning he was also reaffirming what he was saying is true. So he sends us these screenshots of Gigafy apparently threatening to rape minors, and there was no proof. So this already pissed us off already because you just don't freaking falsely accuse someone of threatening to rape someone, which is already leaving you in a bad freaking spot. But when I called out Mythical, he claimed he was joking. The situation wouldn't be as big of a deal if Mythical didn't lie about it being a joke. And Wailing also going along with it. And it also wouldn't be as big of a deal if it wasn't exposed that Mythical wasn't joking, and rather instead he used the joke as a way to save himself. Take note of how Wailing Gecko is fully competent and is defending himself in said argument. This will be very important later. So Mythical tries to deflect and bring up other situations in the past to dodge my point, and it doesn't work. You see, accusing someone of rape, there's already something wrong about that. But when you play it off as a joke and then deflect it, then also lie saying it was a joke when you were asking general questions in serious contexts, and then coming to false conclusions is messed up. Worst part about it, they kept going too. So I already know that they're not freaking joking. So they're basically just blatantly lying at this point. They also tried to call another person out for an out of context comment and a pedophile without looking into the situation, both Wailing and Mythical. Back to Gigafy though, so I called him out again some more, and he continues to play as if he was just trolling and joking about it, when in reality he wasn't. And then claims I'm, quote, not him, which is another excuse, and he's basically playing freaking victim. So I decided to play along like I didn't have any proof that he was not actually joking, and he still couldn't freaking debunk me. He couldn't answer any of my questions or counter my points. He instead DM'd Wailing to help him, and Wailing made the worst mistake of his career, trying to actually lie and freaking defend this clown. So Wailing claimed that he was tired and it was 11 p.m. and he misread the screenshot. But in my second screenshot of this, you guys can go back and listen, he is clearly having a conversation at 2 a.m. with Mythical about Gigafy apparently threatening rape earlier that day, and he was just fine. Meanwhile though, Mythical is shifting the blame to claiming that Frev, yes, he claimed Frev did this and is blaming Frev for what he said. Notice how the narrative changed. He went from joking to blaming Frev, which is a clear freaking sign that he was lying. But, you know, we're just gonna ignore that. So he tries to finally apologize, but I call bullcrap on that because actually he was never joking in the first place. And if he was actually really freaking sorry, he would have just came out and said, oh, okay, my bad. But no, he had to play it off as it was like some sort of joke. Oh my god. So I had so much going. Oh my god. Meanwhile, I'm sorry, I'm just so. Meanwhile, Wailing Gecko here was acting innocent, like, oh, I had so much going on today and I didn't mean to do what I did, which I also called bullcrap because of the number 2 screenshot. So you guys can go back and listen to it. I showed you all earlier. So what you're saying here is you misread what Mythical was saying twice because you had a long day. Right. So, like, you didn't come to that freaking conclusion earlier on. That's just a load of freaking crap. And they keep playing victim card too. And even when Mythical tried to play like I'm some sort of fool. Like, look at these screenshots. Wailing also uses the excuse of he's tired and he wants to go to bed, but then he continues to stay in the freaking argument for the next hour. He also tries to play egotistical while Mythical is re-asking the same freaking question over and over again. He even put Gecko under the bus, while Gecko is blame shifting and focuses on an earlier argument which we had and I had won, but he would claim that I lost it to save his ego, but he blames his sleep and then me. I kinda gave the hint like, guys, you guys talked about this crap before, but they just kept going and didn't take the hint. Wailing then decides to play the victim, and Mythical too once more. Like, it's just so freaking funny. Wailing then voices how he's mad because I'm calling him out, and Mythical tries to make me get on a voice call, and I say no. More on that in a bit, but basically, next thing he says is, Warren, don't act like you're winning. So the guy that is being called out for lying about someone threatening to rape someone, then decides to lie and blame his sleep for his problems, when that's also a freaking lie. Like, he can't own up to his freaking mistakes. Oh yeah, and he also doesn't go to bed after this, even though he said he'll mute the chat, because the next thing you know, Wailing decides to have an ego moment and claim that his channel is doing better than mine, which is completely taking us off topic, but I debunked him in that segment because that was too easy to do. And then he decides to lie and change the narrative again. So, we get back on the topic, and honestly, I just start trolling him because he's fully aware that he can mute the chat, and it doesn't hold any weight. But I just find this funny, but I was running circles around them and having witnesses to prove it. But suddenly Mythical gets tired and he wants to go to sleep too. So they overuse the word ego and claim that I'm egotistical when I basically freaking debunked them too. And then Mythical decides to spam the freaking chat. But also, Wailing doesn't respond to my comment, and Mythical spams the section after my comment. So, What I just proved to you all is that you shouldn't trust Mythical or Gecko, and they basically lied numerous times on purpose to make me look like a freaking bad guy, to make me look like a freaking fool, when they could have taken responsibility for themselves. Which in this case, I can obviously rule this as a lying, victimization, blame shifting to the extreme, changing the subject, manipulation, egotism, desperation, finagling, and nefarious. Their intentions were nefarious.
As for me, I didn't post it to Twitter because I was showing Warren the evidence to see context as to why Gigafy even said that shit.
You were not seeing context, or trying to see context. You were blatantly accusing Gigafy of threatening rape. So, yeah, no, you're freaking lying here. You're blatantly lying here. And everybody that's watching this video can see that you're blatantly lying here.
About it either. What's ironic, though, is that he's made jokes about DDoSing people.
Since you weren't in the situation, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but the person that gave you this information, you know who you are, Frev, tried to use this information against me about a multitude of times, despite me telling him that I was spying on both of them at the time, and I had to try and blend in before I exposed them, which is exactly what happened a couple of days later. Yes, I'm talking about the Sakara situation, where Sakara defended, promoted, and even got someone to dox others. I even said this in one of my documents against Corpse, that I was spying on her and the situation, while at the time, Frev thought of Sakara as a friend, because Sakara was in his Discord server, or in Parlo's Discord server. I'm pretty sure it was in one of our group chats that I told him this too. He shouldn't have used this as a freaking point, knowing where I stand against that, so you should have never even tried to use this point. And I even told you this in the GC, not to use this point, because this will get you clapped up, but of course, you're freaking stupid, so you decide to use it anyway. So, yeah. You should have never tried to use this point without getting both sides first, which was retarded on your part. With that, I would like to move on, please. Thank you.
I would like to talk about the like botting. So, basically, Warren's video lost over 25 likes while me, Mythical, and LtBeast were in a call. We weren't able to get a recording of this going down, but we do have screenshots after it happened, and how mine and LtBeast's comments, including literally one of the comments defending Warren, had more likes than the entire video. So there's a possibility that someone else could have done it, but Warren does have a history of doing something like this. He subbotted his old channel. But let me go over something real quick. When using alt accounts all at once to like bot a video, YouTube will like purge those likes no matter what. That won't happen with comments, which brings me to my next point. So in his most recent song, most of the comments are complimenting him. Almost all of those comments have 6 likes. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is fully correct, but I find it very suspicious. Almost all of these comments that are complimenting him have 6 likes. There's a couple with like 7 or 8, but most of them have just 6, which is very suspicious. Like, why would there be like 6 people liking all of these comments? And then to counter this point, he said, oh, well, this hate comment on my video has 5 likes. It's only 1 hate comment. I don't know what that point's supposed to prove, which both me and everyone else even said that we don't know if this is 100% true, but it's suspicious that, you know, all these comments have 6 likes. Another thing is that Warren accused us of...
This is something that Wailing, Mythical, or Beast has no proof of, but yet continues to make it a fact. So let's talk about it. So to this point, which has no meaning at all, he claims that the likes on the comments had more likes than the video itself at the time, which also made no sense whatsoever, but I guess to this point, I add, Beast admitted that he used his alts to like bomb his comments on my video, which means he also admits to dislike and like bombing my video with alts on purpose in an attempt to make it seem like I like botted my own video, when that wasn't the case, which means he violated the TLS of YouTube, and he tried to frame me for having an alt account, which means he lied to his own fan base, because he literally admitted that he had something to do with the entire situation in the freaking GC. He also claimed that he sent his fans to my video by default. Beast has something to do with the video. And so does his crew. Wailing sent something that was interesting. He sent a screenshot of him liking my video, I guess on accident because the next time he sent the screenshot, it was unliked. But this would have nothing to do with anything if the likes on my video didn't go down, which tells me one thing. Wailing had something to do with the video too. So we've established that Beast definitely botted me, but more people might be involved too. But what also reinforces my point is the fact that every hate comment on me had an unbelievable amount of likes, which my fanbase would directly oppose after watching my video on Mythical. And I see why Wailing accused me of like bombing my comments on my other video. It was to cover their tracks and try their best to make it seem like I like bombed my own comment section, in which I wouldn't. But even if Wailing didn't have anything to do with anything, honestly, it wouldn't even matter because Beast admitted to doing it already. He admitted to having alts to basically mess around with my Mythical video. So yeah, what a freaking clown. Also Wailing, I did not admit to subbotting, I admitted to doing sub for sub, which was on my old channel, and I did that back in 2019 or 2018. There is a freaking difference between subbotting and doing sub for sub. Honestly, just stop saying points if you can't do proper research. And last but certainly not least, you admitted to manipulating your fanbase, you and Mythical both, because you don't have 100% proof that I quote botted my own channel, and you admitted this on the video, but on Twitter, you all are out here claiming that I botted my own video for your fanbase to believe, and that, my friend, is deliberate manipulation. And that's freaking sad.
Anyway, I'm back and I'm going to be responding to one more little clip of his video because the rest of the video is him crying about me being a horrible person or some shit. I mean, who cares really?
This man is so freaking egotistical. He thinks that because me and him aren't friends anymore, he thinks that my, quote, real friends are gone, which is insinuating that he was the real friend, the quote, real friend, that only stuck up for me, and he just puts himself on such a freaking high ground, but yet dares to call me egotistical.
I have never said that you threw away your only real friend. I said you threw away your only real friends, meaning there's more people involved because there's an S at the end, you fucking moron. Fucking hell, Warren, learn how to read. Plus,
Hey, guys, don't tell him that this doesn't invalidate my point. Okay, let's move on. The conclusion to this video is not only did Mythical waste his time, but he dug himself in a deeper hole. He started this mess by talking crap about me on social media, which caused me to make a video myself to prove how hypocritical he is. And how did he respond? By proving my point even more than before. He censors people on Twitter, which is what he tried to call me out for, but he does it himself. He decided to lie and claim that he was joking about him claiming Gecko was threatening rape, when in reality, he came to that conclusion 3 freaking times before he was called out. Beast has also been called out for botting my video on Mythical with his alts, and then trying to frame me and also manipulate his own fanbase too over this fact. Mythical and Gecko has also been exposed for lying and manipulating as well, because they don't have any actual evidence to definitively prove that it was me that botted my own channel anyways. And also finally, they are all trying to say that I'm mentally ill whenever they get debunked, which is 99% of the time, when in reality, they are only doing that because they can't actually invalidate my point, so they resort to that. They try to use their number advantage to try and make it seem like I have no idea as to what I'm talking about, which is clear as day, a plan to attempt to make it seem like I'm crazy, when that isn't the case at all, thanks to the new unbiased people that I have been meeting and talking to about the situation. But honestly, once again, I'm done here. You thought you could make me look stupid when you only made yourself look worse. You can try and mitigate the damage that this video has done to you, but it won't work. You can't even take responsibility for your own fans' actions, and then rather instead choose to condone the actions of people who do horrible things to me. Like for an example, nuking my freaking Twitter general chat. I know it was Beast who did it, because of the fact that he was the last to leave the chat, and he has a private account that he used to kick everyone that wasn't following him, or following that private account, which was 99% of the chat. And then the private account along with your main account left at the same freaking time. This guy is even part of Mythical Squad, but he can't take responsibility for his own fanbase who acts on the behalf of himself. Anyways, if he responds, I won't be responding back because he has nothing left to prove anymore, and it's just a mature thing to do. I'm gonna leave the 19-year-old so he can fume over the fact that he's in college, losing to freaking 16-year-olds in arguments because of his stupidity. Anyways, sorry for the long video and gameplay. I wasn't planning on massively editing this video because I just wanted to get this video out the way, but now you understand truly both sides of the freaking coin. And with that, I'm out. Peace.